I think I'm live. Well, you tell me. Can you tell me if I'm on? I think I think I'm live. I think oh, and yeah, I'm on. Yeah, and everyone. Yeah, hi everybody. Okay. Thanks. Bye. Okay. I think I'm live. I asked Mike, I think I need some help because I'm not doing so well. But I think I might be live. I don't know. Let's see. As people start, boom! Exactly, Holly. Boom. I don't know. Okay. Messages must stop at this time, meaning messages are too loud. I'm the only one here. You have to turn it down. Anyway, I let's give you guys a minute to get in the room, but I am gonna pop over and so let's give you guys a minute, and because I want to talk about a couple things. So you guys say hi to everybody, and okay, just give me a minute. I'm gonna fumble. Mike does this so easy. Okay, let me get it. Okay, so let me go back. Okay, I'm. You guys have to hear a really funny little story, and I don't think he's in the room. I'm gonna tell him that I just went live. So there's a search friend that I have who is single, and he has been dating somebody. And he's like, how do I tell her I'm a forest and treasure hunter? And we've been talking about it. And so he just messaged me like, I finally told her. And I was like, oh. Anyway, so I'm actually going to turn this off because my messages are coming in. But can you imagine, like, okay, new girlfriend, boyfriend after a little while. Like, by the way, I'm a treasure hunter, and here's about Forrest Fenn. I think it's hilarious, and like he had to. We've been kind of talking through how do you have that first discussion about that. I think it's funny. I think it's very funny. Bobster. My son wanted to say hi. I'm not going to put him on live for too long, but he made a few things this weekend. And if he comes back up after he gives the ring, Holly, no, it needs to happen before that. But wait until after the couple of dates to kind of get somebody. They're imaginative and fun, guy treasure hunters. But do you say it on the first date? Probably not. And he didn't. And so I am dying to hear. I'm like, what did you say? How did she react? And did she look it up? And what does that mean? So that's going to be fun to watch his journey, life of a treasure hunter. When do you, or dating as a treasure? I don't know. This will be fun to, and you can disclose or not what you decide to disclose. So. Okay, so the reason I wanted to go on tonight is, tomorrow night we are oh, it took a month, but she liked it. Okay, well, she likes it. Okay, so are you taking her boots on the ground, or what are you doing? I'm so interested to hear. Anyway, hi, Stacy and Bill and Vicky and Evelyn and Treasure Hunter and CMC and Holly and AJ and Sassafras and 23 and Vicky, everybody, Evan. The list goes on and on, JK. Yeah. So, my pre-lit Christmas tree lighting is complete. Hello from Michigan. Oh, how awesome, George. We did not get a tree today. We are going to get a tree probably midweek. Okay. Yeah. So Jack, I did not want to overlap with Fenn Treasure Hunters. So I wanted to wait until they wrapped up. But here's my concern. Tomorrow we are going to be talking about the first of the rollout of the Monday. Oh, Bill is saying with the, okay. So Bill is obviously the person I'm talking about. His name is Bill from NC. And he recently started dating somebody, and we've been talking about, when do you tell him that you're a Fed treasure hunter, and how does that look, and what does that look like? And it looks like he has a search partner. So I think she is lucky, my friend. She can stick around now that she understands that, yes, search partner, that's awesome. So you'll have to bring her to the next meetup. I'll be excited to meet her. Okay, so hey, Joel. Okay, so Sweetie says hi. Oh, fabulous. When my son pops up, I want you to see some of the ornaments before they head out. And we're so excited about that. But what I wanted to do tonight, just for a few minutes, is, and I hate to be on by myself, Mike and I like the interchange, but tomorrow night we're going to be rolling out the series of, it's basically some of the quotes that we think would have interest. Their cutting room floor from the documentary, which oftentimes just hits the cutting room floor and that's all it does. But we've decided to try to cut it and provide it to the search community, kind of as a build up. It's almost like our trailers before the documentary. So we know that's going to be heavily discussed probably next week. That's Monday on my channel. And then Mike on his channel is going to be Thursday, and that's going to be all about the poem. So between those, have I been following Tone in the Tree? I have, but not close enough to know. I thought Tone in the Tree came from the H ones. Maybe I'm wrong, the Treasure Man ones. I thought it was one of their admins. I don't know. Because I can. What's up? My husband thinks I'm crazy. Yeah, just get rid of those people and get a treasure hunting guy. I don't know. That was not kind. So I will say I'm more into the Forrest Fenn hunt than Mike is. He's more into treasure hunting than I am, which I think is an odd dynamic. So he's really into a lot of different hunts, and I'm kind of more focused just on Forrest Fenn with a little bit of everything else. So that's kind of interesting. I just got in right when you said, hey, Joel, but who were you talking to? The other Joel. There's many Joels, but you are the Joel, the lawyer Joel. I will say I'm not a huge fan of lawyers, but I am a huge fan of Joel Lewicki. And so welcome, Joel. He's here. Fabulous. So what I'm trying to get to tonight is we did a show last week, and I don't remember which scrapbook it was, 243, on BIP. Where's my BIP? There it is. On BIP. And then I got a ton of messages. And when I got a ton of messages between BIP and $17 a square inch, there were some discrepancies, and people started messaging me. And I said, wait until the next show and I'll go over those. And they had some specific things they wanted to see in these books. I will say, just because the question has been had several times, this is a collection that I purchased. Some people are saying that Forrest has given them to me, and that is the reason that I think people have even messaged him. I won't get into what's been communicated to him, but happy holidays. Do you see my Santa hat? Me and my son went out. But I can share these because I purchased them, and I'm not going to ask anybody for permission on items that I've purchased. Some people are a little upset because they may have these books, or they may have things that they have found and I'm starting to dig into. Some people are super excited and they say, I have this item or this book and I want to come on and tell you some things, or can I tell you some things, and you share them. And there's everybody in between. So if you want to share something on the upcoming, like last week, I don't know if you remember, and you need to put at Kpro or I will not see it. I'm a little bit of everywhere right now. Oh, is it backwards again? Oh, Jonesy's in the house. Okay, so for all of you that say, for those couple crazy people that say, I got this entire collection from Forrest Fenn, Jonesy, can you speak up? I don't want you to say the details of the transaction. This was your collection, and now it's mine, and there was a transaction. There was no giving. And Forrest Fenn wasn't even involved. So I would like you to set the record straight. That's Jonesy. I stole her babies. I didn't steal her babies. I stole some. There's some good stuff though. I'm excited. I will have to say, I'm excited. So anyway, Jonesy's in the house and she can answer questions. Jump on her, guys. Jump on her. But so the big thing is, so I acquired the collection. Oddly, the first scrapbook that came out after I acquired the collection was Bip. So we did a Bip show. And then on the last show, where Cynthia was on, everybody asked, or maybe somebody asked, where are you guys going next? What's going to be your next in the collection? And we said Gaspard. Now it is a coincidence that Forrest put out. I mean, we do send him links to our show, but now he has put out 244, which, I mean, I was last night, I'm like, oh my gosh, really? Which we'll talk about. But anyway, yes, so Jonesy says, no, really though, I collected it over the years and am now a new mom. Jonesy's not pregnant. She has a great family that has come together. And I am so excited for her. The dingo. The dingo stole your baby. Yes, I know, friends. I'm a huge fan. So Jonesy, it's so awesome and things worked out. And the one thing that I said is I'm going to share with everybody. And actually somebody in the room, when we were sharing individual things, they said, oh my gosh, that's Jonesy's stuff. So lots of people know because Jonesy was, I think, open with some people in her networks, but I think just share with everybody the little connections that I find and see, because that's what we do. And that's what, so now the hard part is I almost think Forrest might be working against me because I can only do so much research and I was going to do it over like months. And then he puts out a scrapbook and I have to do it pretty quick then. And so there's only so many things I can research. So anyway, there was a couple questions that I had, and any of you that want me to reference any part of this book, I will say both books. And I will say a shout out to Cynthia. 243, she did a blog post. It was either today or yesterday. And she goes into some of the things because I have discussed some of the things with her. The bone in Bip is Willow Park Reservoir. The bone in Bip. The bone in Bip. Is that from one of the bone in Bip? Okay. Oh, the bone in Bip. That's maybe, you are backwards. I think I just corrected it. Hey guys, I figured out how to get on live without Mike and you can hear me. Yay! Don't give me too hard of a time. I'm sorry if it's wrong, backwards, whatever, but you can hear me and I'm in English and I'm not too loud. Let's go from there. Last picture. Okay, she knows what you're talking about. Okay, so Vicky thinks that is Willow Park Reservoir. If you want to say more, cool. Okay, so one of the things that came up is, so if you remember in that scrapbook, Forrest said, I was on page 9 of A River Runs Through It. And then he gives the scrapbook and then he says to Sandy, then I was on page 9, which I thought was interesting. I will confirm that I talked with Cynthia. They had been there to Forrest's house, Cynthia and Sandy, or he just put S. Cynthia and Sandy the Monday before, and she had given him that book. I can go over those pages, but those are up on Cynthia's blog, so I won't go too far down that rabbit hole. I'll go down the rabbit. I got enough rabbit holes. So I looked on page 8 and 9 of the Bit book, and there wasn't a lot there for me. There was a reference to Harry, which for those of you on the forums might love. There was a reference. What was the other? There was 2 references. I don't remember the other one, but I decided to jump to page 1819. And when you jump to page 1819, there is literally a sentence that starts on page 18 and goes up through page 19 talking about clues. So I will show it if you guys want to go back and actually like put this on freeze and read this part. This is 18 and 19. I'll do the same thing for 8 and 9. That goes under fair use. But it said, do you notice how clever I am about trying to leave clues? Just stop there for a second. Digest that. that might be a rabbit hole. I don't know. Probably is. I just think it's interesting. So here's the other one I will give you is 8 and 9. Let's talk a little bit about the author. There is a giant land formation in the shape of a dachshund. Small river forms its stomach and chest. Okay. Do you care to say where? Joel Dunn, because there's a Joel Lewicki in the house too. Here's something you may not know. The author is Sherry Brown. The author is a real estate agent. The author also has ties to, and if you look at some of the public releases, which I will put some links in if I can, I don't know if I can, where she did some talks at, well, I don't want to go that far yet. Remind me, bookmark that. I'll go back to Sherry Brown in a second, who is a real estate agent in Arizona, Northern Arizona University. I'm just saying she is a real estate agent. I have had some correspondence with her. BIP was written by S. Brown and graphics by Sloan in what year? That's exactly correct. This was a birthday present to Forrest. And I will say here is two. It should be Renowned and it should be Southwest. That's a little interesting little tidbit. So there's some aberrations there. And it was 1981. From what I understand, there are 16 of these that are out there. And I believe a couple of them are the leather-bound, really nice editions. And I'll show you that when we go into the Leon Gaspard book in a second. Okay. So that is what I know here. But now let's look at $17 a square inch. And which is kind of the ode to Eric Sloan. I'm trying to find the page. I should have had this prepared. This was kind of off. Oh, here we go. Oh, shoot. No, this is, we'll talk about this in a second. Okay, hold on. That's 244. See, I'm going all the way back to 243, which I'm trying to find. Sorry. See, there's already too many. Do you think Forrest will put the ones that are going to be really helpful to us? Oh, here we go. So here is $17 a square inch, the tribute to Eric Sloan. And here is where, these are there. Hello, William. Okay, so it says, Eric also illustrated magazine articles and publications that were written by others. In 1981, Sherry Brown, that's correct, 1981, Sherry Brown, a research assistant, gave me a birthday present. I have confirmed that I believe that is the case. It was a hardback book, okay, hardback, especially written for me and published by Northland Press. That's true, and there's an ISBN number. That is true, a single copy. Now, it wasn't a single copy, it was a single run of 16, from what I understand. The 46-page story was written about, and everything else is accurate, because it had 7 illustrations. It's not a 47, it is a 30-page book. I don't know. I don't think there's anything to different aberrations, but I do find it interesting being that far off. If it was 30, that'd be different than 31, 32. Why 46? I don't know. So, but all of the other illustrations seem to match. And Jonesy, you're in the room. Have you done a comparison? That's my new thing. I'm starting to do comparisons of, okay. There's a comparison there. That looks right. There's that one. Let's just make sure we have all of them in here. Then we have, okay, so far so good. And then we have, this one's just cool. Look at that. But when you look at the last scrapbook, 244, and you see a feather, there's a feather. I'm just saying. Okay, home of brown interpreted, figured out by a child, could be brown equals red plus blue plus yellow, base colors of brown. So the home or base of brown could be blue mountain or yellow mountain. Bo, that definitely could be. I'm not going to say no. Okay, so Interesting. The only thing that weren't included is the paw print, but I can see it because that wasn't an illustration. So there you have it. Okay, so that's the only aberration that I will say. And here's the other piece. There is only one other discrepancy that I will show. And I don't know. I think I'm more into this because of the collection than the hints that it might give. Except for, I find all of it fascinating. But here's the one that there is a difference. And I wonder if it's his personal book is different. So let me put them side by side just so you see the difference. Okay, come on. I wish this was going a lot. This is where I would ask Mike to talk. And if Mike was talking, oh my gosh, where is it? Okay, let me try one more time. Okay, this okay, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one's not in the book. Wait, is this one really not in the book? Hold on, breaking news. Hold on. Renowned artist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Huh. Okay, well, okay, I'm either missing something obvious or, so let's go one by one because obviously I'm missing something. So let's do this because there is an illustration in here that is not in the book, which is fascinating. So let's go one by one. So here is the first illustration that's in the book, right? There's the first illustration, which is right here. Now let's go to the next one in the book. This is where I need Mike. Or I should have prepared better. Second in the book is this one, right? Let's go to the third one in the book, and I'm sorry. There's one picture of the dog has very square-shaped ears, and it's an anomaly. Okay, I'll look at that in a second. So the next one is up here. So that one's here. And then we have this one, which is that one. Then we have this one, which is this one. So we should have 2 left. And the last one is this one, which is the end, which is here, right? So we don't have this one. Huh. Okay, so I'm just noticing this. Hello there, Covert One. So there's something that looks like a home. It says, to Forrest, with sincere appreciation for your thoughtfulness and friendship, Sherry Brown. So when he describes Bip the book, maybe it's in his copy and not in the 16 copies. Maybe they differ, but there was only one printing. So this one right here, let me see if I can get it. Tell me if that looks good, guys. That one is not in the Bip book. So, I don't know. I don't know why. Okay, so there is about $17 a square inch, and that is about Bip. That was $243. So then if you move on to $244, wait, so do we have any questions about $243 before? So confirmation, it was Sandy. Sandy B that gave him The River Runs Through It. Page 8 and 9, there could be an anomaly there. 18, 19, I don't know, it's just fun. But there is Bip, and there is $17 a square inch, and there's now a discrepancy between the two. There's a whole illustration missing. I think that's interesting. Forrest and Eric wanted to buy a covered bridge. I don't know where I heard the story, so don't blow me up for it. But I heard a story that Eric and Forrest wanted to hide a treasure chest under a bridge. And he has the covered bridges because that was one of the donations in the Jamie drawing, Operation Jamie. And their wives said, absolutely not. And they never did it. Somebody asked me where I heard that, and I can tell you, I have no idea. I talked to the few people that I usually talk to, and I'm like, did you ever hear me say that? And they're like, no, where'd you get that? That's really interesting. I have no idea where I got that from, because that would have been before cancer, etc. Supposedly he didn't think of this before that. I have some thoughts on that in a minute. But anyway, yeah, then AJ Rainville will know exactly where it is, and then we'll know where the treasure chest is. Okay, so if you remember on the end of the last show, which was Thursday, Monday, I don't remember when we had Cynthia on, we said what was going to be our next in the collection. And I haven't done a ton of research, but it was going to be Gaspard. So when I see something like this come up, this is one of the really nice bounded, this is, I showed this on Facebook, but there is a page in here that says it's specifically bound in slipcase publisher for Leon Gaspard, limited to 10. This is number 8. And Frank Waters signed this. So Sherry Brown did a talk at Frank Waters' house, Heavy Loads and Water High, where, I don't know if you know, Waters was the landlord to Eric Sloan, who had a little casita out in the back of Frank Waters' home. Let's just digest that for a second. But unless you want me to dive into this book, I'm not going to. I actually want to jump into 80. So that is one. I have not had time to. I almost feel there's a conspiracy. I need time to research a little, and I say, oh, we're going to talk about this next. And then there is another kind of rare book that I will talk to, same book, but special as well, but it has some meanings with, the big thing on this is the signatures and the personal connections that these books have come from is pretty cool. Okay, so now, oh, maybe it wasn't in, yeah, I think it is in this one. Or is it in Eric Sloan's book? I think I just saw it in Eric Sloan's book, right? Maybe it wasn't in 80. So let's go back. Let's go back to, and I'm just throwing, if you guys have something you want to share, I'm just throwing out the little bits and pieces that I know at this point. And again, I just haven't had time to really, really dive in. Because this one I was like, Forrest, you're messing with me, aren't you? And no, I've not written him and asked him, but it was just like, it was so funny. We just said this last show, and then that's where he said he was coming up. So I haven't even looked in those. Part of the collection, though, is every single Fenn Gallery catalog I have, and I've done a cursory look, but I've not been able to dive into every single one. So that's going to be the other thing. I want to see if any of them are in the catalogs. I believe Frank Waters wrote the first version of Leon Gaspard. Forrest asked to add the plates. That is probably the case. I think Forrest wrote them all. Waters wrote Gaspard prior to Fenn. Right. Yes. Okay. So thank you, room. You guys are much more educated than I am. So does that look familiar? That's in this book. And Jonesy, if there's something that I should be pulling out, hey, Texas, if there's something I should be pulling out and you know that I should be, please let me know. Because I don't know where to go from here. I know that it's referenced in here, and I have most of the pieces here, but some of them actually is with Mike as well. Yeah, see, the page before actually references the page before. I don't know if Gaspard memories are actually referenced. And it is memories in this book. So, yeah, Evelyn, thank you. Holly and Jonesy, you guys are awesome. So I'm wondering, is there anywhere that he specifically references? And I know Jonesy can't reference anymore because I have her collection. But I wanted to see where specifically has he referenced Gaspard Memories? And I don't see it right in the pages before or after, because it's like every page he's put a lot of the art. Give me a second. I'm reading through. Yeah, I don't see it yet. Okay, so Kpro, show that picture again. I sure will. So there. Let me see how close I can get it. And I haven't done yet a side by side to see if there's any key differences. I don't think there will be. But this is not the one that doesn't have the plate at the bottom, because the plate from Forest Collection, I'm assuming, is just from the frame. But I don't know exactly. So, okay. So, but you can't dip your toe in Frank Waters. AJ, maybe there's a double meaning. Maybe Home of Brown. And somebody asked me, I think it was an AGK's chat, what if the key connection, let me just go off on a little tangent. You guys can tell me I'm crazy. You normally do, so that's fine. What if Sherry Brown is the one key connection between all of the people, because she was real estate and she was in the art business with Forrest. And so between the two, she is, and that's why it's capitalized, Home of Brown. It's her, and there's some sort of double meaning or something. And she is the Home of Brown, and then we have Waters, and we have a few others that all cut between Eric Sloan, and I'm not saying exactly with Eric Sloan, Waters, or Waters and Brown, but those are interesting words that are both used, and they're key people in Forrest's life. I found a few others, but I'm not willing to quite go there yet. But I just thought, I don't know, interesting beginnings of, I'm now seeing, now that I've looked up some things that Sherry Brown did and published when she was in Santa Fe. She did speaking engagements at Frank Waters' home during the time that Eric was there. So is that a coincidence? Maybe. She lives in Arizona, and he has said the 10th clue was Arizona. Is it Arizona, or, where is it exactly? Or is it Denver? That's a whole nother one. But I don't know. Forrest mentioned there was a painting they're heading to viewer. Has anyone seen it? Are you talking within the scrapbook? Sassy, okay. Definitely different. Blue Fox, are you saying that it's definitely different between the one that's in the book and the one that is in the scrapbook? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying? Tell me if that's the case. I can wait and see what you think. Let's see. I think I just passed the page. Nope, not yet. Kpro, the feather is on the other cap. Oh, actually that might be my screen that flips everything, because look at Chaseopoly back there. Let me look. Hold on. What page was on my... Y'all, I should have prepared much better than I am right now. I'm fumbling a little, and I apologize. Okay, what page was I on? Yes, in the scrapbook. Ma Brown ran the boarding house in Scribner, Montana, near the train station. The feather on the cap. I also found some mountains with his friends named Alder and Douglas. Douglas Preston. Okay. That could be. Okay. I'm going to bring up the two, so I'm going to do something crazy here, but I have Holly in the room, and I think Sassy's in the room, so in case I need to duck out of the room to go over and bring up the scrapbook, I actually want to see if there's some key differences. Okay, I brought up the book. It's on page 37, so when I lose it again, Frank Waters also wrote The Colorado. Jonesy, we wanted to rule out Colorado. No worries, just happy for the friend. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to go over to 244. So let's go there. So I'm doing a little jumping around. So I'll be back to you, room. Let me see if I can see what you're saying. No, it's the feather's the right way. Okay, so here, let me do this. No, it looks right. So it might just be oh, this will be a miracle if I can get this to work. And don't worry, this is just $17 a square inch. It's not a collector's. So you can see they're the same way. It's not that, I think it's my screen that has flipped them or something. So let me see if there's anything I see that is apparent, but I think this is a rabbit hole, my friends, even though we've gone down it together. So that makes it fun. No, I think they're the same. It looks the same. So there you have it. We put that baby to bed. So where are you? I'm right here, KJ. I don't know what you mean by that. Scrapbook details the two writers are heading towards the viewer, and Eric painted them heading that way. Has anyone seen the other painting? Oh, I see what you're saying. No, I'm still trying to catch up, William. I have no idea. In the recent interview with the Searcher, he said he always made friends. He was good at it. And in what recent interview, Vicky? In that recent interview with the Searcher, he said he always made friends and was good at it. What other books could he potentially come into play next? Do you want me to name the next book that we're going to go over? I don't want to do that because I haven't caught up on these books. I don't feel like I'm doing justice to the collection when I have to go this fast. But I know what... Well, let's ask Jonesy. Jonesy, which book would you go to next? Because that's what I asked her. And she was like, go Gaspard because of some of these connections. So I would love to hear which book in the collection she thinks would be good. Leon Gaspard, important. Forrest mentions Coriolis Effect, which is one of 3 interviews with Lorena Mills, founder of Coriolis Effect, the first name Gaspard. Also Nikolai Finch. Fetchin. That's another name. Those 2 guys on horses side by side could be the double Omega. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Then why do you take out the Omega in the 3rd book? I don't know. There's a there. I don't know what the there is. Anyway. Yeah, Sassy, if you're saying this is backwards, I'm here. Chris is all surprised by the deaths of people to investigate his life. Do you honestly think Sherry Brown is someone he would expect us to root out? No, I don't think he would. And I actually don't think aberrations in the scrapbooks have true meaning. I think a lot of people do. I don't want to rule something out just because I think of it differently. And I said this a little earlier, I think before you got in the room. I'm doing this more for the effect of the collection than I am the actual searchers. Somebody asked me, they had done a full genealogy on Forrest and had a lot of the death records, the marriage records, the divorce records, the death records. That was too far for me. But I do think when you have a published work out there and you're still living, like Douglas Preston, I think, I won't say fair game to do anything, but to ask him a general question, I personally don't think is too far. Some might. I'm always respectful once the conversation ends or ceases, or when they, like, I haven't followed back up with Douglas. I've kind of left it. So I don't know. I don't know what that looks like. I go Gaspard grouping the Fetchin series with Arizona Highways, but by Waters. Remember this because these are all parts of the collection. And then drop the Flamboyant Judge home and go straight to the Aerosmith Black Hole. Okay, so we really need to jump into the Gaspard groupings and then go into the Fetchin series. And Arizona Highways is a part of the collection as well. There's some maps and highway maps that are pretty awesome. And then the Flamboyant Judge, I'm just in love with because of all of the signatures and things, the particular ones that have been gotten, and then the Aerosmith Black Hole. Well, what about the Forrest Fan Gallery collection? I don't know. Okay. Okay, so I'll be able to go back to that. Actually, Jonesy, I am going to screen capture what you... Oh, crud. Everybody talked too fast. Okay. Could those 2 guys on horses represent Ben and his buddy who went out to the National Forest as teenagers to look at Lewis and Clark? Definitely could be. Bo, you are... Yep. Well, Texas DNA profile. the oh, DNA profile. He put a lock of his hair in there just specifically for that reason, right? Um, I pull out the catalogs in each group. Man, this is going to be a full-time job. That's what I'm struggling with, is figuring out how to do all of that. I will tell you, Jonesy was very generous with her time. And she was like, well, if you take this and then you take that and then you take this and you put this together, you could tell she has been at this for years. And it was funny because I was like, who's that again? She's like, oh my gosh. Okay, this is that person and this that. And so I'm getting more well-versed because I, up until this point, just really focused on the poem and TTOTC. So again, I'm not saying that these are absolute hints, but what else do we have to do in the off season? Now in the season, we might get, but between the Fen quotes that are not TTOTC and the poem, and then this collection, which is neither as well, this is just fun stuff to do. Tony Russi asked, does Forrest still ride? I do not know, but I would bet my life no. I mean, no. Because of his back and issues, I think absolutely not. KJ Brown is part owner of what? Kpro, hey, wait. While we're all on Sloan, pull out the Northwest Southeast catalog and read everyone the forward on it. Keyword what? Okay, look at the Northwest Southeast catalog. No, okay, hold on. I gotta go behind the green screen. I gotta move some stuff around. Northwest Southeast catalog. Hold on. Flamboyant Judge, Amazing Mabels. Let me get these books out. Ooh, I haven't talked about this one. Oh goodness, what is that? Oh, Beat of the Drum, Whoop of the Dance, Indian Art. Oh dear Lord. Okay, hold on. I'm coming. Ooh, okay. Okay, I am looking for, what did she say? Pull out the Northeast Southwest catalog. Is that one of Fenn's catalogs? Oh, here's one. That's one fun one that we're going to have some fun with. But Arizona High, okay, wait. I need a focus. She has told me what to look for. This is not, oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. Okay. What did she say? Northeast Southwest catalog. What does that even mean? Okay, these are all the arrows. Yes. Okay. Watch out, kitty cat. Northeast Southwest. Is that one of Fenn's catalogs? Northeast Southwest. Ah! Is this one, Jonesy? Holy crap, you got oh, because I couldn't even fit it. I had a 47-pound and a 49-pound, 2 sets of suitcases, and it did not, I had to give part of it to Mike, which I was like, I gotta do the research. Okay, this is just pieces of it. Bo said, Forrest has said in an interview, and I took notes, that the keyword is contentment. Hey, Bo, check in tomorrow night. You'll see. That is 100% not possible. But that's okay. Okay, so she said to take Eric Sloan, West East, Lands of Awareness. Here we go. This is what she said. This is from Fenn Galleries. And the amazing part is, it took her 8 years. She got every single one. Every single one. And got the invitations of each one that came to every single showing at Fenn Galleries over years and years and years and years. So each one of these have the accompanying, it's awesome. The stuff that's awesome. Okay, hold on. So, Eric Sloan, East West, Lands of Awareness. Oh, you want me to read this whole thing? Is this what you want me to read, Jonesy? My God. Do you want me to read the whole thing? Hold on, let me see. If I were to condense the essence of culture and art to one word, I would choose awareness. Ooh, okay. I am convinced that outside of pure craftsmanship, the only talent the real artist has is his awareness. The artist is gifted in sensitivity. Oh, he probably is, Tony. He is more aware, seeing, hearing, feeling more than the average person, and his reason for existence by his art to pass on that sensitivity and awareness to others, thereby enrich their experience. Existence, I'm sorry, not experience. Present day life presents a poverty of awareness, for so much is done for us by science and machinery that we are ceasing to enjoy the awareness of living. In the city, we flip a switch and the light arrives without knowledge of its origin. We turn the faucet and the water flows without our knowing from whence it came. We wear clothing without knowing where the material came from, eat food that has grown in faraway places, get news and entertainment from great distances by strange and miraculous electronics. The joy and satisfaction of doing things for ourselves is almost a lost art. I might be missing things and I apologize. I'm going to keep going. It's about halfway done. It has been my life's work to bring back awareness. For those who have taken life for granted, looking at the sky without seeing it, looking at the land without feeling its mood and enjoying its heritage. There has been two theaters of pioneer American life worth reflecting upon for me, the Northeast and the Southwest. They are completely opposite, yes, yet the intense awareness of early American life still haunts both the East and the West, making them rich in history and worth reviving. New England farms and New Mexican Indian lands are unique in beauty, and the sense of pioneer awareness has left the aura of enchantment that inspires a patriotism and respect for the American past. Art can be only decorative, but communication makes each painting a lasting and meaningful poem, music to live by. My two lands of awareness have afforded me many stories to tell, writing with a brush and painting with a pen. I pray that I have some way to revive their awareness. Eric Sloan, 1984. How cool is that? And then it goes into all of his different art that he was selling at that time. I think that's the exhibit. Okay, so there you have a little bit about Eric Sloan and probably what Forrest and him had many conversations about. Could you imagine them just sitting back, having their Dr. Pepper or whatever and Grapette or... Eric and Forrest were Northeast and Southwest. Oh, I can see that. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Okay, so speaking of wonderful things, and I'm sorry, I have to do this because those of you that don't know, I just put out the video, which I did not realize it was a few days ago. It was the day before the last show that we did this. So here is what my son has decided. He's really into treasure hunting. And he said, everybody's been so nice to me. Does anybody have kids? And we'll do a little craft project. And so here's what he's done. We had a bunch of responses, so I got maybe the top 5 or 6 of them. So here are some of the things that he has made. It's green. I'm sorry, because it's a green screen, but it says Kpro on the back. And he made all of these. These have shells and then gems that he has gotten. This one has shark's teeth on it, and he did like a green red. There's some that have keys. We went to Michael's and we got keys and feathers. And we just had a blast this weekend. So we're hoping to get these out in the mail sometime midweek. He's still working on them. We got a little bit more of a response than we thought we were going to, but he just had fun. So talk about just imagination. So, and start exploring your welcome. And that is what I'm willing to do each time that we go on and discuss things. I am willing to read out of any of these passages. Some people are saying I shouldn't do that. A majority are saying yes, absolutely do it. When you purchase these yourself, there's no issues. Now I cannot read from beginning to end. Boxhound likes the shark teeth one. Yes, My son did too. He was like, oh, should I give up my shark teeth? He's like, everybody's so nice. Somebody else will love it. So he did. He did some cool stuff. Yeah, you can't really see him. I'm sorry. I'd have to pull down the green screen, which eventually I will. I'm going to take some pictures of him doing it. So anyway, I can't read this, but I can read sections of any of these books. And there are so many books, I will tell you. The other thing I've been asked is if I'm willing to sell. I've had several offers for the different books that have already been reviewed. Not at this time. I would like to get us exhausted of what we want to share and have them within the videos, and then I will potentially be selling pieces and parts of this. That was the goal actually at the beginning, and then things have changed a little bit because I think we could have fun in the off season between the quotes and then between next steps of this collection. So Forrest had said these exact words: the key is contentment. So couldn't it be begin the Valley of Contentment? Name of this landmark is different now. WWWH, perhaps at the Continental Divide. Bo, it could be, and I'm not going to say no to anything, but I will tell you, I believe that Forrest is going to put to rest whether the keyword is in the poem or not. He has said contentment. I know exactly what quote you're talking about. But the reason we're not in tight focus with a word that is key might be different than a key word that he said early on. Does a certain word in the poem help you a little bit more than others? You're going to need to tune in tomorrow. There was a little bit of an issue this last week because some information got out earlier than we were expecting. It wasn't for theatrics. It was a situation in a chat room that just kind of came out. And because it did, but quite honestly, I don't care what other people say, just like you guys don't care what I say. Until you see it and hear it from Forrest's mouth, then you can interpret what it actually means. And that's going to be the cool part of the new Monday series as we lead up to the documentary. These are things that you're actually going to see Forrest both saying and you're going to see him. So these are not just audio clips, they're audio and they're video clips. So how about say I do not? I have no idea what that means, so I'll say it. I do not. Okay, I'm missing something, obviously. That happens a lot. Okay, contentment is the key in life. Yeah. So questions you guys have for me on 243, 244, any of the stuff that I have out, because I have a few stacks, but there's so much more, and it's so much fun. And I think Jonesy put it perfectly, is if you take this collection, you're going to need to have so much depth. I think it'll probably take me a year to get some of the depth and connections. And you guys will laugh because it is probably Forrest messing with all of us, and I'm willing to go down the rabbit hole. Well, now I have a collection that I need the backstory before I can sell it. So now I have an excuse. And if you guys want to come with me, lovely. If you don't, that's okay too, because it's going to be fun. Because somebody asked me today, would you focus on the poem and partner up with me and solve? I have a partner, so no, I wouldn't, but I can only look at that poem. I've read that poem. I can go through that poem. Mike, we were doing sound checks. He's like, count to 10. I'm like, no, as I've gone alone in there, when with my treasures bold, I can keep my secrets where a hint of riches new and all. I can do that all day long. There needs to be something different. And so I don't think these hints will give us the hint, the clue, but I think it might make us think a little bit differently as we get to know Forrest a little bit better. So yes, Foxhound, it's Christmas time, and I'm excited that it is Christmas time. If we didn't care what we said, we wouldn't watch. That's not true, because I can. I have many haters, and I get their emails, and there's an entire site that is just focusing on me and all the terrible things, but they do watch. I know, and they're in the room because they write specifics on everything I'm saying. So I want to say hi and happy holidays, and hopefully you find some happiness. But yes, it is definitely AJ, rabbit holes, rabbit holes, rabbit holes. Remember, kitchen sink. I wanted it to be kitchen sink Christy, Forrest. Mike and I really didn't want to put too much of ourselves in Chaseopoly. Just like he says it's Bessie, and I'm like, no, it's Calazar's on the token. But anyway, have you figured out what Too Far to Walk is yet? I think I know. Bo, I don't. And I think that is actually a key part I don't think it's the key word, but I think there's something there because he's told us we drive and, park and get out of our car. I think there's something to that saying. Why is that line in there? And we cannot ignore any noun. That's going to be another project, is pulling out every noun in that poem. And I think some of the words, we know them as verbs, but they also can be nouns. So yeah, Tesnor, they come with the territory. Somebody says the more haters you get, the more popular that means you are. I try to ignore them. It bothers me more than it bothers Mike, but I also get a lot more enjoyment, I think, out of the social aspects, because after a show, I'm chit-chatting with people. I'm kind of disappointed that YouTube has cut off the chat function afterwards. It used to be you could chat as long as people are chatting, but now I think it cuts off at 2 minutes. I don't remember exactly, but it's kind of interesting to see, because I like the interaction part. And that's why I like AGK's chat. And I don't know if you saw, if you haven't seen, Jason and Sasha were on tonight. Go over and check out. They had some interesting thoughts on 244. I didn't get to see it all, but I did get to see a part of it, and it was pretty cool. And one scrapbook of the two dolls, let's see, that's Embroidery and Chaos, which is Sandy and Cynthia. One is wearing a top hat and the other an Indian dress. Yeah, well, Stacy, if you look at that one, it's kind of interesting because Sandy and Cynthia were on a boots on the ground, and one had horns, Cynthia, and there was a hat, Sandy, and that's why they try to say 6 hours of chat. I don't know what that means, but okay. Well, when we do marathons, we go that long. So I would like you to take a second, and we do want to get to 1,000 subscribers on this channel. And the reason for it is I want to start, one of the functions that once you hit 1,000 is you can go live on your mobile device. Kpro, I want to take down. There's a creek he goes to, and he has a metal detector, and we're getting into some microscope stuff and some gold panning stuff, and we really want to get into that. So if you could please not only thumbs up, but also subscribe. We'd like to get to 1,000 as quick as possible, because then I can continue that part. I will say one other thing. I'm going to say this at the beginning of the show tomorrow. Remind me if I don't. There's going to be 3 topics no longer allowed to be discussed on this channel. And I will tell you the reason for it. It makes decisiveness, it makes issues, and it's off topic. I'm already off topic with the rabbit holes. But if you want to discuss politics, if you want to discuss religion, or you want to discuss drug use, those things have other forums, other channels, other ways that you can discuss those. As those become, every time those come up in any depth, they start to spark things and make people upset. And then we have to deal with them as moderators and people in the chat. And it just takes us totally off track. So if you want to make a general reference to, I think this hint might relate to God, that's fine. But we're not, those are the 3 topics now no longer going to be okay on this channel. And that's just my decision. It is not a YouTube rule. It is my decision as the owner of this room. Is pregnancy still cool? Okay, we need to stop. Jonesy, if we can joke about you being pregnant, we can joke about me being pregnant. But no, we don't need to talk about that. Let's focus. Let's focus on the poem or the collection or something. Jonesy makes me laugh. I have not laughed so hard as my time with Jonesy. Okay, so the other thing is World Series of Fens coming up. We're going to have some flyers out. I'm going to start needing to get RSVPs. And the reason we do that is we do give items out. They're small. They were a little poker chip last year, but we want to do something that then you have something commemorative. And if you want to sell it, you are allowed to sell it, or do whatever you want. Bo says I need to reread the preface of Too Far to Walk. I don't have enough books around here, so I think I need to reread Too Far to Walk. Okay, I will. Jonesy is having Forrest baby. What? I have nothing to say. Jonesy is having too much fun. Okay, Covert One says no apologies. Okay, so, oh goodness. Okay, Tim, no, that's not funny. Okay, don't go in timeout. I'm being serious, guys, because this gets really intense for people. And I got a lot of hate mail. I got a lot of one person said this and I didn't get a respond. And it was a, you must be. And I've gotten accused of being both a Republican and a Democrat because somebody got to say something and I didn't catch it. Our room isn't hopping tonight because it wasn't a normal night and it only has about 100. When we have 200-300 in here, it is so tough on the mods. And here's the other thing. When I have Kpro on, those, I have to say that it's for kids because I just want to be real conservative about it. And I don't want to have some of those discussions. He doesn't go back and read, but I don't want him to even get into that as well. So let's just keep it light, keep it fun, that sort of thing. Am I going to sell you the Bit book? Covert, are you coming to World Series of Fun? We can always talk. Oh God. Jonesy put down the keyboard. We had too much fun. Jonesy was at the Detroit meetup. And I think we made too many jokes. Some people wondered why we took down that video. We got a little ornery. And you guys, I'm never going to call her Mama Cal again. Cal Lazar's mom. She watches these. She watches all of them. So I am not going to joke around about those things anymore. Okay, so pay those mods in cookies. Cookie for you, and there's a cookie for you, and there's a cookie for you. Okay, so yeah, I don't. And actually, Mike's mom is so sweet. There is nothing to mess with there. We have something in common. We both really like Mike or really love Mike. Okay, so any questions on 243, 244, any of we're going to really start getting into, these are the things that I really want to start to dive into because like these catalogs are so cool and they tie to each of these books that tie to some of the paintings, that tie to some of the people. And it's just going to be fun. I will tell you, Covert One, I have never seen such crazy deals go on. A lot of people are bringing some of their collections of things, and I will tell you the parts of the collection that I will be ready to, well, we know each other. You just message me if we need to talk about it. So, questions. Other than that, I am going to try to figure out if I can sign off. This should be interesting because I've been on about an hour, but I need super chat. Hey, Jim, I wish at 1,000, that is another function that can come up. And that's actually, let's see, there's like 4 functions that I would really like to have. One of them is mobile. One of them is super chat. There's something else. Predictions on 245. Well, didn't Jonesy just go over? Aren't we going to fetching next? Should it be fetching? I don't remember what. I'll have to. I screen captured it to make sure. So yeah, if I don't remember what she said, but whatever she said, obviously is going to be the next one. More martinis. I don't know. He doesn't drink martinis, so I saw some people focusing on martinis. That's not. He has 2 drinks of choice, and I don't know him to drink a martini, but. Not important. Wants to know about the lead searcher. Okay, so thank you guys for coming in. I wanted to get those pieces out of the way before, and so I will, those of you that have emailed me questions, I went over, so in case you're not in here tonight, I will email you and I will let you know that I answered them in here. You mentioned a documentary. I've been out of the loop a while. Where can I watch that? Ray, so I've been working with a documentarian that I work with, and we did get an interview with both Forrest Fenn and Douglas Preston. We have interviewed a few searchers. We're taking the next month or 2 and interviewing the last set of searchers now that we have a full storyline. And so we have a set of quotes that we're using for the documentary. Something a little unique. Usually you never put out B-roll footage, which is B-roll footage in its entirety is kind of a professional no-no. But the one thing that has come out is I've gotten kind of the okay of the team. There are particular quotes that we think the searchers would be interested in that we want to get out that we know won't make the original documentary. So that will be what we're going to focus on. every Monday. So you will see something from either Forrest or Douglas, things that we think might be of interest to the search community. So that will be over probably the next couple of, well, at least couple of months, because I know we have at least probably 10 or 15. I think this one will be interesting. It's already kind of leaked. That what it's going to be, but you have to hear it from Forrest or it doesn't really matter. So first 5 or 7 minutes are going to be getting the room in there, kind of getting our housekeeping out of the way. And then right at probably the 7 to 10 minute mark is when we're going to dive into the quote. We are going to have a guest for this one, and then we're going to spend about 30-40 minutes discussing it. Our guest tomorrow would actually like to discuss his particular solve. So there you have it. First hour of Crisis in the Infinite Earth has been completed. Now back to treasure hunting. Oh, okay. Okay. Jack, what are you talking about? I never read your chat. See, you put the hint of riches. You've got to put Kpro, or I don't see it. That goes on here, and that's what Mike controls. So Jack, you're my favorite lead searcher. So of course, what do you mean? And you don't have to, what do you mean text? Please in the future announce the time you're going on. So Tony Rusi, the time that we're going on is Mondays and Thursdays. What I try to do if we pop on at different times, I'll put it on the Grand Adventure, and I try to put it up on Thor, but the Grand Adventure and Force Fan Galore. Those are the two on Facebook that I go to, and then I try to get it up on Thor. But there's going to be times that I want to get something out of the way, so we can't just do the Mondays and Thursdays. This was kind of spur of the moment because I talked to Mike, and on Thursday he wants to focus back on the poem and TTOTC. So I knew it would be 2 weeks before we talked about these particular things. So yes, I will try to put the times out there, but I can't every single time. So it'll definitely be on the Facebook Grand Adventure. That's the first place I go to because it's quick and easy. I don't have to sign in, but I try to get it always up on Thor too. I actually didn't get to that because the room had already started to fill up. Okay, Kpro answered Jack, the invisible and invincible lead searcher. That's what I see. What else is Jack saying? You never read his text. Okay, Jack asks, okay, what % chance do you think that the lead searcher is in the room right now? That would presuppose that I think there is a lead searcher. There you have it. There's my answer. And I will say, I believe, unfortunately, I think you're going to have to wait for the documentary to see Forrest's thoughts on that because it actually pertains to the storyline that we are developing. There's some new news. So I would love to put that quote out, but I don't think right now it's something that's being included. If it does hit the cutting room floor, I want that one out as quickly as possible. Okay. Questions? Thoughts? That's it. That's all I have tonight. Okay. I am Jack. I usually side with Toby. I think Toby is very logical. I don't agree with him all the time, but how do you know that you're a lead searcher? If you're a self-proclaimed lead searcher, how do you know that? And I'm not going to get off on this tangent, but I don't understand. We have at least 50 lead searchers. I think those are people that need something psychologically. I think the actual lead searcher would never need to come in the room and say he's a lead searcher or she's a lead searcher, personally. I think if you do have it, you're not going to shout it as loud as the people that need to shout it, that constantly shout it. I think you're looking for something else. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I get something out of this chase in a social aspect that I need as a person and I really enjoy. Mike, the same way. He doesn't enjoy the stuff I like. He doesn't come into every chat room. He'll come in and say, hey, how's it going? He'll watch a little bit. He's usually playing video games as he's listening. I like to interact in the chat rooms. That's the thing that I enjoy. The person that comes into the room and says, I know all of it. I'm the lead searcher, and I emailed Forrest and he confirmed it because he put a blue dot in his last, that in the back of his last one, and I have blue eyes or whatever it is. If that helps you get through the day, don't act great. I can see why people get irritated by it, but I'm not. I don't know. So there might be a finder in the room, though. That is true, Godelkin, and I hope so. I think it'd be really cool if we knew and we said, It is Jack Jack. That would be cool. But I don't know. I like proclaiming I'm the lead searcher to stir up the hornet's nest. Minotaur, you could be the lead searcher. No, I welcome all of them. But I do think during the off season, it irritates people to hear, especially when you say, so if you say I'm the lead searcher and you say, but I can't even tell you what state it's in, I don't understand that. That's just, I don't care. How long have I been joining your shows? How often I said I'm the lead searcher? Jack Jack, I don't know how long you've been in that. I would have to look at it. You say it a lot. Or between here and AGK. I don't know. There's a few of you that say I'm the lead searcher, and that's okay. And I will say I meet more people. People come to the meetups and they'll say, Psst, come over here. And then we'll go and like sit at the end of the bar and they won't even want to talk with some of the other searchers. And I'll just say, Mike, keep your eyes on me. Because some guys like, come sit over here and I want to talk to you. And I'll talk to you for a few minutes. And I'm the first one to say, I don't know if you're right or wrong, but I don't think you can self-proclaim yourself as the lead searcher. You could say, I have a really solid solve, and I think that I'm going to go get it, but I don't think you need to do it in the chat rooms personally, because you're in a room with a whole bunch of other people that think they are, or there's no way for you to really prove it. So just go out and get it and just laugh at the people in here inside. Anyway. Yes, the rest will be clear later. I like that, Jack Jack. So that's, I don't know. I'm just saying it like it is. And again, I don't say it in it's because I know, because the only thing I know, I'm not the lead searcher right now, unless it was one of my previous solves. And I always think about that. What if you gave up the solve that ended up being the one and you were just like 8 of 9? Oh, wouldn't that kill you? I don't know. I think about that because I have my love solve. Oh, Caliente was my love solve. I have my Nez Perce. I spent so much time on that solve. So I have 2 solves that Sassy says I'm not the lead searcher. So yeah, I have my solves. Yeah. So I guess we won't know until we hear the interview from Kpro and Cal. We won't know what? Oh, about the lead searcher. Yeah. And that one absolutely will hit either the documentary or be out. Yeah. My green screen, I know. My green says Ozo, I know. My green screen is backwards. Jonesy, you're not getting any more money from me. I'm not buying. I'm poor. I am poor now. We did an interaction or transaction. We are done. And Tony, I agree. I know where I'm going to put a treasure chest if I ever get the money to do it and put it out there. Please have a show on unanswered questions. I've been asking for the last few minutes. Give me a question. Christine Myers. Unanswered questions. Or just in general, like unanswered questions from Forrest or particular people. I don't know. So anyway, we're going on an hour and 15 minutes. I got to get down. I think my son is bundled up for the night. That is why I still hold a couple close and won't talk about them. Then I have my main one. Yeah. That's how I am. I'm catching a new solve, but it's not taken off like I really want it to. I caught a couple things that were pretty cool, and I was like, "Ooh, this could be." But I've been sitting for a little bit. Now I'm off on all these rabbit holes. How about a hint about what Forrest said about the lead searcher? Inquiring minds want to know. Hey, Jack. Let me ask you this. If you think Forrest told me there's this lead searcher and all these great things about him, do you think I'd be saying, guys, how is there a lead searcher? But anyway, the treasure chest cannot be sold. Godelkin, I actually think after talking with Sassy for a while that might be the case. Unanswered questions. Is there any significance in Forrest turquoise belt buckle? That's a great question, especially when I've seen close-up photos and it has all the little intricacies it has. I think it's interesting that it's on the Once Upon a While. I think it definitely could be. I think there could be something to it, but that's one I cannot answer. The lead searcher needs more cowbell. Okay, give Kpro WTG for the last video. Way to go for the last video from me. Oh, I will, because he's starting to talk a little bit more. And I just want to say thank you to everybody. Some of the negative stuff has kind of stopped and he's getting all positive. And I actually, a couple of you answered today about what's the distance between clue 1 and clue 9. And I read him like the long answers. And he's like, how do I answer that? And I'm like, no, 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 you're just listening. They're just giving you some feedback. And he's like, okay. And so he's really having a good time with it. Okay. I always remember we think like a kid when we're trying to solve the poem. Bo, that's why me and my son are having a really good time with it at 10. So he's having a great time with it. So okay, I've been saying I need to get off here. I don't even know how to end the stream. I think if I shut off the computer, that will probably happen. But we will say, we will see what happens. So tomorrow night we will have a guest who's going to be sharing his solve, which let's see. It's like Adam B. Let's see. But we are going to be going over in the first 10 minutes, usually right around that. Well, usually this is going to be our second one. And it's going to be related to the word that is key. Is it in the poem or is it not? You will hear from Forrest on that particular topic. And you're going to hear from a couple of other people. And so if any of you think that it was particularly harsh the way we got this information, just know it was not me. I was very ginger and nice. And we'll talk about that tomorrow night. So thank you all for being here. It was fun. And bye, search friends. Let's see if I know how to do this now. Bye. Am I still on? Okay, that didn't work. End stream. How about